So I thought I'd take you with me to go and get the last bits in the city. So I've only got 2 places to go, and that's Primark and Boots. I need to just pick up some last minute bits for me in Primark, and potentially some newborn bodysuits, but like the vesty ones that go underneath. I've got some up to 1 month, but I was looking at them last night thinking they actually look quite big for a newborn. Well, they're diddy, but if it is like an average newborn size, then actually we do need newborn. So I need to have a look at them, and then on to Boots to get some water wipes are the main things, and just some general toiletry bits for me and Arnica to help with recovery. Yeah, so just the final bits really, so I'll take you with me. So first shop done, now on to Boots to get the final bits and pieces, and then we should be pretty much there. Okay, so home now. Yeah, it took me longer than expected, but it's not because I'm actually like looking around at stuff. It's just because it takes me so long to bloody walk anywhere. Literally waddling from one place to the next actually takes quite a lot of effort. I done a classic in Boots, walked out, left my Primark bag at the till point, just walked off without it. Thankfully got to the doors, and I was packing because I have a granny trolley, but for Christmas I also got like a smaller, almost like a carrier bag on wheels really, from my stepmom. So I actually took that with me because I knew the box of water wipes were going to be really, really heavy. So I was hoping to get them when I had Mark with me, but he was unable to come. So I thought if I take that, then I can put them in there. Anyway, long story short, when I was packing that at the doors of Boots, I then realised, I don't have my Primark bag with me no more. Oh my god. So thankfully rushed back to the till point, and I just left it there. Otherwise I was then going to have to do a hunt around the store. I knew I'd taken it into Boots with me, so it must have been there, but my horrible fear was that someone had then walked off with my items because the receipt and everything was in there too. But no, got that back. Now I'm home. So that's kind of my thing to do for today. So now it is time for a bit of a rest, a bit of a recuperate. And then as and when I feel a bit more energised, I can start finishing to pack my bags and probably run a hoover around and get the house sorted. But yeah, that's the outing for today so far. Oh, exciting times! So, excuse the state of me, but I thought, oh, I'll quickly do a bump shot by a very tired and looking pretty gross bump shot, but hey ho, here's a bump shot nonetheless. So I think it has certainly grown in size and has dropped. I don't know what you think. So this is a front view. Wearing black probably doesn't help you, but probably from the side gives you a good indication. So yeah, I think it's definitely gone down and is protruding somewhat. Yeah, belly button is definitely sticking out now, which is just awful. And then this is just from the front, so it just looks like I'm smuggling a beach ball or something rather similar. Head is right down here. I seem to get a lot of movement around here, so apparently the back is this side with legs coming up and over. Although I was getting a lot of movement down here, so I don't know whether it was switching sides earlier or not. And some straight up and down movement earlier on, which I haven't had for since like the very beginning really. But yeah, so there's a bump shot for you, and that is 32 weeks. Hello, so this is going to be a 32/33 week update because I didn't actually get round to sitting down and doing one last week, purely because there was just so much going on. It was the week of all weeks last week, not what we needed at all. But to start off with, I really felt like I was kind of struggling last week. All through the process, people look at you and they go, oh, you've not got long left, are you getting uncomfortable, are you wishing it over with? And I could honestly say, no, I wasn't. Yes, I was bigger. Yes, things were taking more time. Yes, obviously the pubic bone pain was getting me down, and I wanted that over with. But the actual pregnancy thing really wasn't bothering me. To the point I was actually, I wouldn't say I'm enjoying being pregnant. It's probably not been. There are people who say they love it. That's not quite me, but I do quite like the interaction with Bambino, and our little kind of idiosyncrasies together. But last week I really felt like I just couldn't get comfortable, for one. No matter where I was sitting, poor Mark got shoved off every sofa I think he was sat on for me to try that one. It was a bit like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I want to try that sofa now. Perhaps if I lie down this way, or perhaps if I lie down on this sofa, or I'll sit on my bouncy ball for a bit, or I'll sit on the floor. I was kneeling and leaning kind of over and onto the coffee table at one point to try and just see what position I could get in, to just anything to feel comfortable, and I just couldn't. I was still suffering from the fall from the previous week, so that was causing me quite a bit of pain in the pubic bone, particularly going up and down stairs, which are difficult anyway. But they were really, really painful. Really struggling at night to get comfortable and again to sit. It was just so sore. And I was still trying to figure out as to whether the pain is because I didn't have it reset last time. Is it because the baby's getting lower and it's just going to get worse anyway? Is it all to do with the fall, or did the fall just aggravate it a little bit? I didn't know. So I was then also extremely tired because I then wasn't getting any sleep. Wednesday night, unfortunately, Mark's mum got taken into hospital, so that's obviously been quite a concern for him and for us. And we just want her to get better, really, and to come home. And it's been Mark's then working incredibly long hours, plus trying to visit and kind of worry about his dad and that as well. And so that's been a bit of a worry. And then to top off the week on Thursday, I've been feeling dizzy probably for the last 2 weeks, on and off, and it had been increasingly getting worse. But at the last weekend, I ended up taking my rings off for the first time ever because my hands were a bit puffy. Went to put them back on Monday, and I couldn't, which I thought, that's a bit odd. And then Tuesday I noticed my hands had actually got bigger, and the dizziness has increased. Wednesday, when Mark's mum went into hospital, I was obviously going to go with him. However, I was in the kitchen and I was really struggling to move. There was pain down below, but it wasn't pubic bone pain, and I just couldn't move my legs. I was having to shuffle, but I couldn't pick up my legs. I couldn't do any kind of movement to lift them up. So we ended up ringing the midwife, who was ever so good on the phone, and some of the symptoms that I was displaying, they didn't think it was enough cause of concern to come in that night, but they wanted me to get checked out by the midwife the next day, which is what I did. Midwife done a really thorough check, really thorough, and the upshot was, yes, there was swelling in my hands and feet, but it's borderline as to it's not excessive. So it could just be pregnancy puffiness, rather than anything else. The dizziness she put down to just tiredness and doing too much, so I need to start taking a step back. She had a feel around of the baby, and that was absolutely fine. However, I did then have quite a bit of protein in my urine, which is a sign of pre-eclampsia. So we went through a whole load of other checks, and because of the slight puffiness, that was then causing is it the start of something, or is it completely unrelated? We don't know. The midwife spoke to the delivery suite to say, do you want me to send her up? Do you not? I don't know what to do. And we took the decision that actually in myself, other than the dizziness, which isn't related to pre-eclampsia, I'm actually quite well in myself, so rather than cause any distress to me or the baby, to go home, and they would do some extra tests which have gone off to the lab, and those results should come back next week. But it's a case of if there's anything untoward, then they'll give me a call. If I don't get a call, then everything's absolutely fine. So yeah, go home, make sure you rest, and if we went through all of the signs of pre-eclampsia again, and if there is any of those markers even mildly coming up, then to give delivery suite a call, grab my bag and go straight in. So that was a bit of a shock, really, to think, oh god, like, we've not actually got that long to go now anyway, so it'll be a shame for it all to go wrong now. One, obviously we don't want pre-eclampsia because we don't want any harm for the baby or for me, but mainly for the baby, or any risk to that. But that would also be the midwifery birth completely out the window. It would end up being a delivery suite birth, which you just make the best of what you can, don't you, really? And it's just a little bit of the stress. So you're on, especially this weekend, we've been kind of on tenterhooks of keep looking at your hands and feet going, oh my god, have they got bigger? Have they not? Have they? Oh, what? Oh, is this some flashing lights in my eyes? Like, you just keep an eye out for everything. But in my head, I'm thinking, sorry, out of breath, that's just normal pregnancy stuff. It's really got my butt into gear to get things finished. So we need to get the nursery done. We need to get my hospital bag done. Although I think it's extremely unlikely that I'll get called in next week for the baby. I really don't think I have got pre-eclampsia. I don't feel like I have. I haven't got a gut feeling like that I have or anything. But in my head, if I don't have my bag ready, then I'm bound to get a phone call to say, come in, we need to get the baby out now. Whereas if I do, then the chances are I won't need it and I'll end up going 2 weeks overdue or something. So yeah, so I'm going to head to the city today. I've got 2 shops to go in. I know what I need to grab. So I'm going to go in, get the stuff, come home, and then pretty much potter around here and kind of get the house tidied and sorted and rest where I can. We were going to go away this weekend, but we're now not, just so we're home, just in case something happens. And also we want to be around for Mark's mum, obviously, as well. And then we can get the nursery sorted as well. So we just got a changing table to put in, and then that's all ready to go. So I'll take you with me today. Good evening. So I thought I'd give you a bit of an update. Excuse me if I wince. My stomach is going crazy. Well, it's not actually my stomach. My bambino is going crazy. But he's proper pushing. I'll see if I can get it actually. So I don't know if you can keep seeing the ripples around there. There you go. So I don't know how clear you'll get to see that, but hey ho, gives you an idea of what is going on if I'm wincing. It really just feels like the only way I can describe it is someone is running their knuckles right into your leg. You know when someone or leans on you with an elbow, it feels like that, apart from across the whole of the inside of my stomach as it goes across. So I think it's his knee. Because it tends to be its bum up where my hand was, and it's definitely head down. is the easiest way to describe it. I'll do it like this because then the light isn't shining behind me. Definitely head down. I can feel movement down there, which is the most bizarre thing in the world. Anyway, that's not what I came on here to talk to you about. What I came on to talk to you about was a pre-eclampsia update. So as it happens, the gist of the matter is I've been calling up for the results and the results haven't been in. And it turns out the reasons the results aren't in is because they never got sent because the surgery lost them, which isn't good. So they will get the midwife wasn't happy at all because I then got transferred. They then got the midwife to give me a call because they couldn't figure out the fact that they've got on their system that they received my sample, but then they didn't obviously want to tell me that there was nothing on the system about them not being sent. So it's between me handing them over and them actually meaning to get posted where they've gone walkabouts. So instead they left it to the midwife to talk to me and explain it. So I've got an appointment with the midwife on Monday. Today's Thursday. So I've just got to wait over the weekend again to see if any additional signs happen. If they do, give delivery suite straight a call. And then we'll see what the midwife says on Monday. But in the meantime, I'm thinking positive. I I know you cannot determine your birth. I know things happen. However, I would really like a midwifery-led birth. And I actually managed to go back onto the unit yesterday and get some footage for you. So hopefully you got to see that footage. So what I showed you was one room which is just a pool room because they are, I want to say there are 4 or 5 rooms on the MLBU, Midwifery Led Birthing Unit. And one of them only has a bed and then there's a separate pool room. So because I said I wanted to have a pool birth, she then showed me the separate pool room if I end up going in the room that just has a bed in it. However, the bed isn't a normal bed. It is, I guess it's called a multifunctional bed, I think, but it almost looks a bit like a contraption. It's got kind of handles around it, but it's purely so you can hold and kind of get yourself in different positions rather than it just being a traditional bed. I was shown by a midwife. I won't say her name in case she doesn't want to be mentioned, but she was absolutely superb. She properly sold the place to me. Not that I needed selling to because I was already pretty much committed that that's where I wanted to go, but she gave me a full-on tour as if it was a hotel, particularly in the birthing room. In the pool only room, she dimmed the light, she put on the projector, and there are stars projected on the ceiling. She was taking me through the process of what I would do. Basically, give them a call as soon as I start having contractions, just to give them the heads up, and then we can be in constant contact then as to when I might be coming in, and they can get a room prepared for me. As and when I do then decide to come in, they'll then run the bath, they'll dim the lights, they get out electric tea lights, so they look like candles, but obviously you can't have live flames in a hospital, so they're like electric candles, but they flicker and everything as if they're real candles. She ran through the pain relief options that you can have on Midwifery Birthing Unit. So that was everything apart from epidural, and the new one, which I want to say ranitidine, but I've probably said that wrong. But you could have pethidine, gas and air, paracetamol, Oromorph, which is a oral version of morphine, as well as water, which is also classed as a form of pain relief. It's no different to when you have a bath because you've got a stomach ache, or like a hot water bottle is the heat and the relaxing that can aid you. We talked about the fact that I was doing hypnobirthing, which she was completely on board for. she gave me some advice in terms of trying to bring in stuff that makes me feel comfortable, unlike home. So if I want to bring in a pillow, they do have pillows there. It's not because they don't, but it's just something, if that makes it feel a bit more familiar and homely for me. Or even photos of pets or other children or holidays or anything that I want to have a look at to try and focus on when I'm actually in the moment, then I'm more than welcome to bring that. But the space is rather limited, so in terms of like baby's bag, baby's car seat, things like that, keep them in the car. Purely bring in your bag that you need. We went through some snacks. They said it's probably the only time that pregnant women are encouraged to eat sugary snacks, because you're basically going to be running the marathon. So remember to pack your still Lucasade or energy drinks, others are available. Preferably not fizzy, because at times you could feel sick, whether that is due to the labour in general, that can happen, or the gas and air can also make you nauseous, so probably best not to have the bubbles. But flat, she said, was good, or still. And jelly babies and jelly sweets. So I do have wine gums and jelly babies in my bag, which I'll take you through some other time. And that there was unlimited tea and coffee available for birthing partners, so not to worry about them. And then once it's all over, then we get the best tea and toast ever. We were welcome then to stay in the room for about 4 to 8 hours after. And if I feel like I need to stay an extra night just to recover, obviously that would be with the baby. Or if I feel like I need a bit more assistance with breastfeeding or anything like that, then I'm welcome to stay for a whole night. And then she said, we'll just check you in next door on the ward. Again, as if it was a hotel. She was exact. I really hope she's on as and when I do go into labour, because she was exactly the kind of midwife that I would want. So even just little phrases she had, such as, chances are, if anything happened, we could get you out of the pool and we could take you through to delivery suite if we felt that was better. But if that ever came an option, we would sit down, we'd talk with you, we'd talk with your birth partner, we'd talk you through why we felt like that, and ultimately the decision would be yours. The only time we wouldn't talk you through that is if there really was no time and we just had to get you through. But obviously then we talk you through that afterwards. Really up for hypnobirthing, really up for the breathing, really up for basically staying at home as long as you can, which is exactly what we've been taught. Keeping moving throughout it all. And then we even had a conversation about what she kind of would be looking for in a birthing wish list. So the main things she said that they look for are things like pain relief, what pain relief we don't want even considered, what pain relief we do, and do we even want to talk about pain relief. So as an example, I will take you through my birthing wish list completely at some point, but I'm going to go through it with the midwife next week, so I'll probably wait until after then just to finalise it. But like in my birthing plan, for example, I've said I don't want to talk about pain relief. If I want pain relief, I will ask for it, but do not offer it to me at any point, because if not, in my head I'm going to think, oh God, if you're offering me pain relief, it's obviously going to hurt. So wait until I request it and say, I can't do this no more and I need some help. So things like that. She said we look for if you want vitamin K being given to your child upon delivery or not, who's going to cut the cord, and how you want to deliver the placenta, which was really interesting actually, because I talked to her about this and said that there are 2 ways you can deliver a placenta. Either way, you've got to birth it again. So you deliver a baby and then you have to deliver a placenta. You can either sit and do what's basically is called delivering naturally, whereby you just get on with it, or you can have a hormone injection, which most people do have. It's a really quick injection, doesn't obviously hurt, and it kind of gets the job going, basically speeds it up, gets it all done with, and as soon as you've delivered the placenta, that is it. The whole thing is done. To deliver the placenta yourself, you still need basically all the hormones you needed to deliver a baby. So you need high oxytocin levels still. You will then still have contractions. You still then need to work with your body and those contractions to get the placenta out, so it can take a bit longer. And that's why a lot of people opt for the injection. But I said I couldn't. I've done quite a bit of research. I've spoken to quite a few people. I like the idea of a natural birth in terms of, that's why I'm doing all this hypnobirthing stuff. I'm not a big fan of all the drugs when I've actually looked into a lot of the side effects. I don't like the side effects that you can get with them. However, the placenta wise, I couldn't really pinpoint the benefits of either. So I was struggling and was quite open to do whatever, really. And she was fantastic. She sat down with me, she went through it with me, said how they normally do it. And that's, after you deliver a baby, you tend to be left for an hour. So just you, your partner, and the baby. Baby doesn't get taken off to be checked, like to be weighed or anything like that, until after that hour. So it's called the golden hour. So basically it's the first hour of your baby's life, and you've got to imagine that's quite a shock to the system for them. They've been in somewhere that's very warm, very quiet, just them. Temperature is different. They've never had any fabric on them before. It's all going to be quite loud and bright, and it can be quite traumatic for them, really. And think of just what they've just gone through as well. So what they try and do is they'll keep the lights low. They keep the temperature at 37 degrees, which is a body temperature. So temperature-wise, it should be like no different to them. And that's then when they put you skin, what they call skin on skin. So the baby will then normally go direct to the mum. It can go direct to the dad. And the bare skin of the baby will be placed direct onto the bare skin of the mum. In this case, it will be the mum. And the baby supposedly will then calm down because it will still hear your heartbeat, which is what it's used to hearing on the inside, and it will start to mimic your breathing, and that's how they then can start to regulate their breathing, because you've got to remember they've never actually taken a breath before. And then in that hour where it's still quiet, the lights are low, the three of you can then bond and kind of just come to terms with really exactly what has happened. And the babies tend to feed for the first time within that hour too, because instinct basically tells them how to breastfeed. So they work their way, and they will normally feed for the first time, is what they hope for. Is after that hour, that's then when they'll be weighed. They will have first initial checks on the mum's chest, but actual complete checks will be done then, obviously, when they're weighed after that hour. But the midwife was saying in that hour, sometimes the mum will actually just get on and birth the placenta themselves anyway, or the body will be pretty much, the placenta comes out when the body knows that the baby is gone. And it takes a little while for the body to actually click that the baby is left. So it tends to be after the cord has been cut, so the blood stops pulsing to the placenta, and that's obviously then what you're birthing. So even if it's just after the hour, normally the mum tends to just, it happens anyway. She said, but we do then have the injection on standby, and we check with you that you're happy with that. And we can then give it to you if you do require a bit of assistance. So if you're happy with that approach, then we can do that. Which, that sounded kind of, perfect to me. I'm quite happy to go with the flow. But she was really welcoming, really reassuring. Added to the fact that I'm actually really excited to meet the baby and to meet it in that way. And to have that as the process of delivering of my birth, really. That's kind of how I want to birth the baby. And did also say that, Mark was welcome to go up at any time to go and have a look around himself, or simply pop in and ask any questions that we might have. as long as we phone ahead just to make sure they've actually got a room free for us to see. So yeah, that was really exciting, really pleased I went back again. And like I say, just looking forward to getting on there and bringing our baby into the world in that environment. So fingers crossed I'll still be able to. If the results come back positive for pre-eclampsia, that's a no-go for me, unfortunately. They won't accept me on there. So fingers crossed, everything crossed, that it all comes back normal, really. All in all, I'm just tired. I've had a really long week. I've been really busy at work, for one, and although I am sleeping at night, I've never had any trouble sleeping, if anything, too much sleep. I think in the back of my head, I have been obviously worrying about these pre-eclampsia things. I'm not completely relaxing. So it'll be nice to, when I see the midwife on Monday, to actually get a bit of closure on this and know what's going on, really. We did actually flip the mattress on over the weekend, which we're not meant to flip our mattress. It is a memory foam topped mattress. So obviously that is only on the top. I think it's only on the top. Either way, there is a note on it saying you can't flip the mattress over. But it was getting to a point where, you know what, I don't care anymore, let's give this a go. So we did flip it, and it is proven to be quite a firm mattress. However, that has been helping my pelvis no end. So I am still in quite a bit of discomfort, but it is literally like 70% better than what it was before. So that's been great. And pretty much not a lot else has changed. Hospital bag is pretty much finished, so I'm going to film a video this weekend showing you what's in there. Baby's bag is now all done, and again I'll do another video for baby's bag. Nursery, we are nearly there. It is just the changing table that needs to be like complete, but we think we may need to rub that down and repaint that, so we'll keep you updated on that one. And I still need to get the lampshade, but I'm checking on the website every day and they're out of stock. So Asda, please can you get the lampshade back in so I can actually finish my baby's room. Everything else is in there, including the room thermometer. So yeah, trying to get the temperature right for the room, even though it's not going to be in there for the first 6 months. And all in all, that's about it. Excuse the attire, it's because I've come back from baby fit yoga tonight, which was fantastic yet again. Again, I'm really attributing the yoga to my improved SPD. So I'm going to do a whole video on that separately about what all my tips for SPD as well. And that will include the yoga that I've been doing. But other than that, I think I'm going to sign off now. I'll give you a quick bump shot tomorrow and see if there is another update. If not, that will be the end of our 33-week update. And then come Saturday, I will be 34 weeks. So we're on to the home stretch. Well, we've been on the home stretch for a while, but it will then be 3 weeks until I'm full term, so it can drop at any point. Yeah, and 6 weeks till due date. So it is racing by now. But that is all for now, and I'll see you in the morning. Hello, so I thought I'd just do a quick end of 33-week bump shot. Yes, I am wearing the same cardigan as last week. This is my new favourite thing. No, it's not a maternity cardigan. What a con that is. Maternity cardigan, what the hell is the difference between a normal and maternity? But either way, it's so soft and it's just really comfy, and I love it. So yes, I am wearing it again. But yeah, this is week 33. I feel huge, waddling about. I don't know if you believe that is lower. He, she, but we keep calling it he. Is definitely down here. Keeps pressing on everything. So yeah, if I do quick bump shot, so there's me bosoms, which I am now a 38 double D. So when even then, that's now getting tight. So I'm probably getting closer to a 40 double D to give you some comparison. And then this is out further than that by quite a way now. So yeah, waddling along. All in all, I've put on a stone, so I'm not actually that unhappy by that. Well, don't get me wrong, when you look at the numbers on the scale, it doesn't fill me with delight to keep seeing them going up and up and up. However, I do understand it could be a hell of a lot worse. But so all in all, I don't think we've done it too bad, and hopefully it is all bump related. Yes, you. It feels like they're just there at the moment. But that is all for week 33. So I'm going to sign off here. So thanks for watching once again. By all means, obviously hit like and subscribe if you want more updates. And then I'll see you next week when I will be 34 weeks pregnant. And then we really are getting close to the end now. So I'll see you then. All right, bye.